So I had some people ask me for a more detailed description of the time, times, and half a time. And I already did it in Revelation 12 video that I made last year. And so I'm just going to give a clip. I'm just going to show you a clip from that video that explains the time, times, and half a time. Here it is. So then, verse 13, and when the dragon saw that he was cast to the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. That's Israel. Israel's one who brought forth Jesus Christ the Messiah, the seed of the woman, who Satan knew was going to destroy him. And to the woman were given two wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place where she is nourished for a time, times, and half a time from the face of the serpent. Now here John gives us a definite reference to Daniel's time, times, and half a time, which we know is 2,500 years. And it represents the time when Israel's in captivity up until Israel becomes a nation again. That's what both the references in Daniel that both talk about a time, times, and half time. They're both talking about a 2,500 year period. It's talking about the 2,500 years until Israel becomes a nation again and then gets Jerusalem back. So that is what is talking about here, because we know that this is a reference to that. And to the woman were given the two wings of a great eagle, because Satan went after that the woman Israel, which brought forth the man child. And the woman was given to two wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness unto her place where she is nourished for a time, times, and half time from the face of the serpent. Israel went in and was mixed in among the nations. Daniel 12, 6 and 7. And he said to the man clad in linen who was above the waters of the river, how long will it be until the secret end? And I heard the man clad in linen who was above the waters of the river, and he raised his right hand and his left hand to the heavens, and he swore by the life of the world that in the time of 2 times and a half, or time, times, and half time, and when they have ended shattering the strength of the holy people, all these will end. When they've ended the shattering of the strength of the holy people. And of course, we know in 2 Peter 3, 8, and 9 says, but do not forget this one thing, dear friends, with the Lord a day, which is the word Homera, Greek word Homera, is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day, which is a regular day. The Lord is not slow in keeping his promise, as some understand slowness. He is patient with you, not wanting anyone to perish, but everyone to come to repentance. He's talking about the end times here. He's making it very clear that this day applies to the end times. Luke 23, 7 says, and when he learned that Jesus was in Herod's jurisdiction, he sent him to Herod, who was also in Jerusalem at that time. And that time there is also Homera. So we know that time here, Homera, is time. It's not day, it's time. Well, so when we look at 2 Peter 3, 8, and 9, with the Lord, a time is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day. So a time is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day, is what 2 Peter 3, 8, and 9 is really saying. Of course, 534 BC is when this prophecy was given to Daniel. 2,500 years later was 1967, when Israel got Jerusalem back. Israel got Jerusalem back in the Six-Day War in June of 1967, which is exactly 2,500 years after 534 BC. The second example of the time, times, and half a time is in Daniel 7, 23 to 25, where it says, thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all the kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it to pieces. And the 10 horns out of his kingdoms are the 10 kings that shall rise, and another shall rise after them. And he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change the times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time, or a time, 2 times and a half is, of course, is the Jewish Bible translation of that. And we know that that also is 2,500 years, because it says right there in Daniel 7:1, in the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions in his head upon his bed, and when he wrote them down and told the sum of the matters, and this very dream, Daniel chapter 7, was 553 BC, plus 2,500 years is 1948. Exactly 2,500 years when Israel became a nation again. And I've heard people say, well, hold on, he's talking about the saints. No, well, who is he talking to? This angel is talking to Daniel. Daniel was a Jew. And it says, he shall speak great words against the Most High. He shall wear out the saints of the Most High, which, talking to Daniel, who would that be? That would be the Jews. And shall think to change the times and the laws, and it shall be given into his hand until a times and dividing of time. So that's talking about the time Israel was in captivity. Once again, a straight reference to the 2.5 times, the 2 times and a half that Israel is in captivity. Daniel received the prophecy when they were in captivity. They were in captivity up until Jerusalem was destroyed in 70 AD, and they were in captivity all the way through. I mean, they were mixed in among the nations all the way until 1948. So we have two references that 2 times and a half are talking about 2,500 years. So if we look at Revelation 12, 13, 14 in that light, it says, the dragon saw that he was cast to the earth, and he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child. And to the woman were given the 2 wings of a great eagle, and she may fly into the wilderness, into her place which she is nourished for a times and a half time from the face of the serpent. So the serpent couldn't come after when she was mixed and mingled into the nations. The serpent succeeded in destroying Jerusalem, and Israel no longer was a nation. But the Jews were dispersed among the nations, and that was their place in the wilderness, was away from the dragon. The dragon couldn't get at them directly. He had to persecute Jews in every way he could without having a nation to aim at anymore. There was no longer a Jewish nation to aim at. They weren't all in Israel anymore.